Hello and welcome to JRPG Book Club Lightbringers. I'm Ty,
I'm Bill.
I'm Jack.
and this is just our new little podcast, something that we want to try out. We're three friends, we have a passion for video games and RPGs. So we thought we'd kind of play a game every month or every other month, depending. We'll see. Of just different RPGs that we've heard of, ones that we really like, ones that are like legendary. Legendary, yes.
They have a legacy.
Yeah,
A
they have a fantasy, if you will.
A Final Fantasy?
That's a good one, Bill. Anyway, so our first game was Final Fantasy 1.
In case you can tell.
Yeah. By the, every indicator, including description and title, which is next to the sub button.
Smash it.
Smash it.
Smash that sub button.
On the podcast.
Yeah. But anyway, so every month we're going to be going through a game. We're still figuring out the schedule, but we want to tackle at least like one good RPG a time.
Yeah. We thought starting with Final Fantasy 1 as the palate cleanse of the start of the beginning, where our journeys begin for this. We wanted to go here because I feel like this is where it really stems out of becoming a genre.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great springboard. It does so much for the entire franchise.
Yeah.
And not just the franchise, it does it as a whole for a genre.
Yeah.
I think it's powerful, and I'm really excited to delve into it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's definitely one that I never got into. I had actually not had a Nintendo growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never played this one. I actually didn't get into the Final Fantasy series until Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right, like a lot of people.
I know for me, my neighbors had one, and so I was around it, but like I didn't get into it until way later, until I was playing other games in the franchise and stuff. But I was familiar with Final Fantasy 1, and I've always had a heart for it, kind of thing.
Yeah. Because my first, I didn't really play RPGs up until I got, a Game Boy Advance.
Mm.
Because then they did, Final Fantasy 1 Dawn of Souls and stuff like that.
That's
Final Fantasy Tactics
great,
as
just
well.
jump. That's just a great platform for
Yeah.
RPGs. I know I got a lot of my favorite franchises and stuff out of playing those on Game Boy.
Yeah. So that's how I really got into Final Fantasy 1. I played through it, I think when we were talking about this podcast, I've played through it 3 times already on Game Boy Advance and iPhone. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a very...
I've played through the original one several times through over the years, very, here and there. I played the PSP version for this podcast, which is supposedly the most complete version.
Yeah.
Very interesting. A lot of things to talk about, which we'll get into in a second here. And then, but since I've played the original one, I've got a good balance board for that. And then Jack.
Yeah, I'd never actually played these kinds of RPGs before. I've gotten to more of the modern RPGs where everything's been changed for the better. The combat mechanics and the plot and the stories are much better told.
Much more of a full game.
Yeah, a little less archaic.
Yeah. Because there's not a lot of story.
Yeah.
There really isn't in this one.
Yeah.
So this was definitely a hard play for me.
Yeah, I mean, I know both me and Ty are really big into the franchise. We've played a large majority of them. Jack, you said 7 and 10, right?
7, 10, and 15.
And 15, yeah. But it's an interesting entryway going into something nowadays versus, growing up with it or experience it for the first time when it was coming out or whatever, because it's like, cool, there's nothing else to compare to.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the game. Imagine having that as your first experience, your first entryway.
Yeah.
And just seeing what it is now, and you're like, whoa!
Yeah. Yeah, it's so jarring going from, Final Fantasy 15 or anything, Final Fantasy 14 to, any of the earlier ones, because it's this is completely different. It's a completely different monster.
Yeah, night and day. And I'm really excited to hear what Jack has to say about that, because, again, having the more limited experience of that versus us, where it's like, cool, we've played 3, we've played 2, we've played these other ones that are these aren't the cleanest, and they have their polishes, they have their new ones.
Yeah.
Me being a huge fan of 3, I know, and you have...
I love 4.
Yeah, so we all have our ones that we like a lot, but you just having that, 7. 7's a big difference from 1. So I guess let's delve into it. I think we're going to do a couple bullet point kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
let's start with the story because it's real short, real easy to start with. Yeah, the story is real minimal.
Oh yeah.
Ty, do you want to do a simple breakdown of what the story is?
Yeah, you did a good one
sure.
earlier.
So basically, I'm trying to remember like the cycle that I talked about because I ended up going into a rant about Garland.
Yeah.
But Final Fantasy 1.
Spoiler alert for a 35-year-old game.
Final Fantasy. God damn it. Final Fantasy 1's about 4 Warriors of Light, which you kind of customize, and they defeat Garland, who through time travel shenanigans and 4 elemental fiends and power crystals.
Still doesn't quite make
Elemental
sense. You can beat the
crystals.
game and still not make sense.
They create a time loop, so Garland becomes like the ultimate embodiment of chaos.
It still doesn't make sense even after beating it multiple times.
Yeah.
Because it just never like pinches off the end. Because it's
Yeah.
like, cool, this thing like you don't even realize you're going back in time. You're just like, oh, I'm going through a portal thing.
Yeah, it's like,
And
oh,
you're
you're
cool.
back 20,000 years now.
2000.
Oh,
Yeah.
2000? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, cool, I go into the thing, I go in a portal, he's at the end of the dungeon. He's like, haha, it's been me the whole time.
Yeah. It's like, oh, cool, the guy who said he'd knock me down.
Remember me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And cool. Well, I guess you're back. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the end of the game. I guess you're the ultimate evil, even
Yeah.
though I completely forgot about you.
Yeah.
Because you fight him twice. You fight him very beginning of the game.
Uh-huh.
You rescue the princess.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the game, and it's just like
Yeah.
no explanation, no like middle ground, like saying, "Oh, he's still alive."
Yeah.
It's you're defeating fiends to restore the crystals.
Yeah, he's not even mentioned by any other NPCs.
Right. It's like,
Yeah.
excuse me, what?
Yeah. Like,
Who are you again?
The only time after you beat him is one person's like, you defeated the Grand Knight Garland.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
that's
like,
it.
cool.
Thanks. I know. I did it.
I did that.
So like the beginning of the game is the end of the game too, kind of,
Yeah.
because of the time loop and just
Yeah.
like science.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad guy shows up, kidnaps princess, you kill bad guy,
It's ages all the time.
and then you just they
Fight 'em.
tell you to go get the crystals to a glowing, and then you go and kill some fiends, and
Yeah.
then haha, it was me, Garland. Come
Yeah.
back with me in 2,000 years into the past.
I
And
mean-
you fight Garland, and that's it.
I mean,
Game over. You brought light.
so how's navigating this for you, Jack? Because I know for me and Tyler, we've played it, we've seen it, we've dealt with it, and this is my secondary iteration, which is a much better experience. But I would like to know how you experience the story, because I remember talking to you initially when we were playing through, and you were like, "This is Bill. This is not good." Like your direct words, Bill. I don't get it. This is not good.
It's
Yeah.
not good.
So
Uh,
So we're gonna. I think we need to delve into that each segment we're gonna talk about. But let's start with the story.
Yeah.
all right, so
Why is this not
I
good?
think I should start off by saying that RPGs are not my preferred genre of video game.
You're more into like what action?
I'm more into the action adventure stuff.
Yeah.
I do like RPGs a lot. I've played a bunch, but you guys are way more experienced than me in RPGs.
I mean, you've had me some of my favorite ones over the years too.
Yeah.
So
So, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I've been used to the RPGs that kind of tell you where to go. Like they tell you, oh, this item does this thing. Oh,
That's
you
the
need to
new-
go
new style
here.
of things, yeah.
And there's always a direction. The game's always telling you where to go. It's always pointing you in the right way. When you start Final Fantasy, there's no intro cutscene. There's no, hey, you're this person.
Yeah.
You literally pick your characters, name them, and then that's it. And
You're
then
outside of a castle area.
you're outside of a
Yeah.
castle, and
If you don't find out exactly what to do, or if you don't,
you're wandering.
yeah,
Yeah.
You have no
And
idea what to
usually you just get bodied. Like you're dead.
Yeah.
It's like cool.
So
Because you had that, didn't you?
this is what happened. I started the game out, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm these people.
Yeah.
I walk to the castle. Oh, I'll talk to every NPC because
Mm-hmm.
this is an old game. They don't know how to tell a story. So I talk to everybody, and they're saying some of the most basic lines of dialogue ever. Just, hey, our princess has been kidnapped. Save our princess.
Yeah.
Warriors of Light. Are you the Warriors of Light?
yeah.
And then you go talk to the king.
Real
Hey,
stock.
hey, go Garland kidnapped the princess. Go kill Garland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go find the Chaos Shrine, which
Yeah.
we don't have a map to give you.
Yeah.
So
And
So I
imagine this is revolutionary.
yeah.
Yeah,
So this
yeah.
is
This is
crazy.
revolutionary.
at the time, yeah.
Yeah.
So I leave the castle and I wander a bit. I'm taking a lot of hits because you can't heal. There's no items. I have for starters, I started with a fighter, a black belt, a black mage, and a white mage.
Hey, we should probably go over makeups in a second.
The black mage and the white mage can't do anything at this
At the
point of the
beginning?
game because they don't give you any spells. There's no shop. There's no nothing in the castle.
I was like, because most modern RPGs, it's here's a fireball spell.
You get
Yeah.
a fire spell. You get
You start
something.
with a lot of things.
So my fighter's doing damage. My black belt's doing nothing, and then he's like doing no damage.
Yeah.
And my mages aren't doing anything.
Mhm.
So I'm wandering the fields, getting bodied, and then I find the castle, and I go in there, and there's literally a door like 5 paces in front of me. I was like, oh, I'll go check out the door. I walk in the door, there's a dude there. I go and talk to him. He's like, haha, I'm Garland. Fight me. I'm like, oh, I'm
Okay.
already
Come at me,
fighting
bro,
the
I guess.
bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get bodied and just die. And I'm like, what the heck? How am I supposed to fight him? But during the battle, I was like, oh, this is probably one of those battles where you're supposed to lose.
Yeah.
Scripted.
No,
This is
game
Final
over.
Fantasy 1. You don't get scripted fights
No,
like
no,
that.
no. And at this point, it was like probably 15 minutes into playing. I didn't save because the game doesn't let you save unless you buy an item. And so I had to start over.
On the overworld it does.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow. Well, see, I didn't know that. I thought
Nice.
you had to buy an item to save.
No.
Okay. So, yeah. So I had to start my game over.
Yeah.
Remake my characters.
Yeah.
Go and talk to everybody.
Go do the whole thing again.
Yeah.
And I was so frustrated. I was like, I wandered the castle after around Garland. I went to his place and walked around there. I was like, okay, I don't fight him, so I'll look around. There's like some chests there's some doors that are locked. You need a mystic key,
Yeah.
and there's no items. There's nothing to do.
I don't think I told you really anything about it except for get to like level 4 before you like go and
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to the
So
temple.
see, what happened was like I was getting really frustrated because I could not heal. I was dying. I had no idea where to go.
I think you
And
put
so-
under like our chat.
So then,
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck, Bill? Why am I doing
Yeah.
so bad? Why am I dying?
I'm like, well, what level are you? What's this? Blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
And you're like, just get to level 4. It's like, I would if I could live long
Yeah.
enough
Yeah.
to get
How
there.
do I heal? It's like
How
I'm
do I
like,
heal?
Wait,
Go to
what?
an inn. It's
Yeah.
like, where's an
where's
inn?
it in? What are you talking
It's
about?
in the town. Where's the town?
What town?
And I'm like, and then I spent a while just wandering around, and then I realized that by the castle, the icons along the side are not pillars leading to the castle, like some kind of like
Oh, yeah,
architecture.
It kind of looks like
They're
a
actually
town.
buildings.
Yeah.
And so you walk into one and it becomes a town. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, how
Yep.
did I miss that?
And I felt like it was just like a very pure like essence of like the first time you're experiencing
Oh.
this, not using any walkthroughs, just
Yeah.
like cool, like back in the day. Because like there's so many people who I've heard stories from for this game, and they're like, well, the first time I played it, there's no equipment. What's that?
Yeah.
Magic? You have to buy it? Like
Yeah.
all this other stuff, and just like yeah, that's just how it worked back in the day. And
Yeah.
Jack, you had a very pure
It
experience
was a
of that.
really hard time. I
Yeah.
was so frustrated. I wanted to quit. Honestly, I was
Yeah.
really mad.
You were
guys-
very, you were
guys
very
were
like dejected. I'm like done with the game.
You guys like,
Tyler's
oh, I got my
like a good
crystal.
jump through.
all right, I'm on my second crystal.
Yeah.
And you're like talking about, oh, I'm grinding on the zombie dragon.
Yeah.
Like, guys, I haven't even gone past Garland. How do I do that? I was so mad. And then once I found out that the towns are there, then
Yeah.
I still was mad because I was struggling
Yeah.
getting
struggle
money
bus.
in order to survive because the inns cost money and you have to survive the battles to get
Yeah.
money.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't
It-
get a lot at
The
first.
beginning of the game is real ruthless. Like
Yeah.
later on, it's like cool. There's like there'll be little like barriers, right? Where it's like cool. I need to do this. I need to get 120,000 guild because whatever, right? Makes sense. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but you're fine.
Yeah.
There, you're like cool. I need to survive. It's like the beginning of a lot of those like survival games where you're like cool. There's like Breath of the Wild, right? You're like right when you start,
Oh,
you're like cool. This is tough.
this stupid looking
But-
momlin's gonna one shot me.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's the exact same thing. If you go too far, if you do this thing wrong, you get killed. That's what it is. You're dead. And the problem, and let's go into technical next, because I think we covered the story as good as
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
going to get, because there's not much of it.
Yeah, there's. Oh my god. And what is there is like still confusing because it's still
It
like
doesn't-
a time travel plot in a fantasy setting. Like
With no
Segue.
No setup
no
for
segue,
time
no
travel.
setup. It just is.
yeah,
But technically, like I guess is the next thing. I know with there's so many different versions of it, with each of them having their own little bugs and little
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah.
I got to play the bougie version of it, being the most refined. The PSP one, it was, they went back and kind of retweaked stuff. But like the first version of the game, man, so many things don't work. There's what at least three or four different spells that don't work at all.
Yeah.
An entire class just doesn't work
Yeah.
at all. Like, it's a base character, that's it. It doesn't have anything special. All the other ones, like, cool, this one can cast magic, this one's stronger, this one can do multiple hits.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Not you.
Yeah.
You like being a rogue?
Yeah.
No.
That's like the only like real advice I could give for people who are like, oh, I want to hop into Final Fantasy 1. It's like, just don't pick the thief.
Yeah.
That's like the only thing you just should not do.
Well, I feel like, again, we talked about this earlier, is on the graph of characters' usefulness. You start with, like, the monk at the bottom, and it just skyrockets up as you play.
Yeah.
You got the knight, which is, like, pretty high up, and then, like, curves up, and then goes down a bit, usefulness.
And just kind of plateaus.
But he's still good. Yeah. Like, exactly. He plateaus. He stays on a good track for a long time. You've got the black mage, which is kind of, like, up and down, depending on what's needed usefulness-wise. Yeah. You've got the steady flat line that is the white mage, always useful, but doesn't actually do damage and stuff.
Yeah.
The rogue, which is on that bottom tier, doesn't do anything.
It's just the bottom line of the graph.
Yeah, it's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And what's the red mage, which is depends on how you use it, but I love mine. It's useful. It pitch hits, and I don't have to choose one of the other mages. If I want to keep my healer, I keep my healer, and he'll do magic damage, but it also has physical attack. Both me and Tyler went into a kind of more physical attack build where we have a white mage, and then knight, not black mage, monk, black belt. That's what I was thinking of, and the red mage.
Yeah.
I loved. My experience was, again, I don't know if they just got lucky on the RNG side of it, because I had zero problems. I had one party death the entire game. And I think the rest of the game, I think I had maybe 3 character deaths. Yeah. Maybe. Something along those lines. Very, very minimal. Yeah. But I also, like, again, I'm pretty sure I got really lucky. And B, like, I grinded. Yeah. I mean, that's what you do in these kind of games most of the time, until you grind too much and you break them, like I've done before.
Yeah. And it's very not hard to do that with Final Fantasy 1. And
no, I mean, in the beginning, you grind to, like, level 4, you beat Chaos. Yeah. Or not Chaos, Garland.
Technically.
Yeah. Chaos Garland, split slash. Yeah. And then, like, the next, I would say up until you get to the first crystal, that's where your grinding majority is. Yeah. The rest of the game, it's like, cool, you might do a little bit to get an extra couple levels in the dungeon, but it's mostly all self-contained by getting all the items in the dungeon and just kind of doing your thing. Yeah. But up until that first, like, the distance between the beginning of the game and the first crystal is like half the game. Yeah. Because of the grinding. Yeah. It turns a probably 6-hour game into a 15-hour game. Yeah. Because of that just huge amount of work you have to do to get there. Yeah. It's dumb. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
But that's not something that I'm used to play in an RPG game. Yeah. You don't really need to grind in most of these modern RPG games.
If you do, it's minimal. It's like, okay, here's 30 minutes getting this big guy because I can.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really it.
I mean, nowadays in games, you don't have to grind like that. That's the thing. Is it's so made easy for you. Like, everything's set up for you. Everything's done like this for you. Yeah. But, like, back in the day, I would say even up to, like, early mid-2000s, there was definitely the harder mode to it, where it's like, if you get into probably most of the games that we have on our potential schedule for the next couple months, a majority sake of those are, up until that point, where there's some work you have to do about it. And I like that. I don't like things being given to me for no reason, like, for easiness, It's cool. If you want this thing, go do this thing for me, and you get it. It's like, all right, that's real life. Somebody doesn't, just like, here's $100, right? I'm not just going to give you $100. Work for it. You know what I mean? So
you got to earn it, and it feels good to earn it.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that the older games really nailed. Because, like, if you look even, like, not even that far on, they start giving you things. Yeah. It's like, cool, I'm here. Take this. And, you still get a bit of this in the older ones, but I think it's a lot less.
It was mostly just key items.
But yeah, the key items you kind of fall into, but that's kind of games work sometimes.
To go back to what you said about earning it, it's like, with my experience with this game, is that I absolutely hated the beginning. Like, the first half of the game was such a struggle. Yeah. And after I got my first crystal, I went to the next half of the game.
I can tell that's when you got it.
And that's when it just, like, okay, my guys just, they won't die anymore because
everything's
okay.
It fits into place.
place. Yeah.
You start getting the magic, you start getting the equipment.
You have
and
tons of money.
Your
I had so much
black
money
belt
by the end of
starts,
the game.
hitting more than one time,
Yeah.
and he's just dealing out max damage.
Mine was so beast in my playthrough. Just like, yo, you want to one shot something? My monk.
Yeah.
And he was the embodiment of JoJo. Just
Yeah. Just.
Like by the end, it's like, cool. You want to do like 30 hits because we got you.
Yeah. Because I played this game enough to the point where like I kind of have it figured. Like you said earlier, the warrior plateaus, the monk like shoots up, and I played this game enough to the point where I was ready for that, and I was like trying to keep track of it because I'm like, okay, warrior's doing a little bit more damage than monk.
Yep.
A little bit. They're evening out. Monk jumps up to 800 as soon as he becomes black belt.
Oh yeah, it becomes real.
Yeah.
Didn't do that in mine.
Well, you also had him equipped for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't tell you
Yeah,
that.
that's something that's like so dumb. Especially, did the first game have optimize? I doubt it did.
No.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
There's no optimize.
Okay.
They don't tell
Well-
you what the weapons do. They don't tell you how much they improve or
Yep.
or reduce your.
Oh yeah,
character's attack.
it's all blank.
There's no item descriptions.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to use the item. You have to use the magic.
Yeah,
And
it's
they were
trial and error
limited
entirely.
with text too, so the magic was literally 3 letters and
Yeah.
a number.
HRM.
So you
or
had to figure out
whatever.
what that meant.
Yeah.
CUR, yeah.
Yeah.
FIR, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how that was.
So I definitely, I got through probably about a fourth of the game, and I was like, I don't know what these things do. I have to look it up.
Yeah.
I just picked up this equipment.
Eventually you
and
got
I
it,
have
though. And that's what
so much
happens.
equipment. Yeah, and I just, we're talking about like, when this was revolutionary back in the day.
Yeah. Can you?
I bet if I had the instruction booklet, it would have had a couple things.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Exactly.
If I was, subscribed to like Nintendo Power, they would have had plenty.
I
of
got the
tips.
magazine in my room
Yeah.
right now.
Right. So like,
Yeah, where they'd there'd at least be like a Nintendo Power page. It's like these are the
Little tips and tricks you can.
Yeah, these are the houses you have to go to at the
that's
beginning of the
so
game, so you don't
nice.
immediately die. Like,
Yeah, but going into it, blundering around, and just being like, "Huh, I wonder what this does." I mean, like people, like I've seen people that I know who have like notebooks from when they were a kid of like writing out, "This is what this does. This is this.
Yeah.
This is this. I do this much more damage when I do this." Like crazy, like stuff. I'm just like,
you had to figure it out.
Yep. And you just kind of, it's this cool, like, respect almost, where you're like, man, they just give you everything nowadays. And it's absurd.
like
Because you don't think about it until you play something so polarizing as, like, the original version of Final Fantasy 1. Like, do you or do you not have a respect now for, like, that kind of thing now?
Oh, I mean, I did that when I was a kid, too. Like, we didn't have internet.
Oh,
we didn't
yeah,
have GameFAQs.com. We just had to talk to each other. Like,
Yeah.
I remember I wrote letters to my cousins describing puzzles from Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
How do you get past this thing?
Yeah.
And we
remember
would
my
send letters
cul-de-sac
back
like
and
that.
forth with the drawings, and we would write back and forth. Oh, I got past it from doing this, and then like, and that's just how you had to do it. You couldn't like look on the internet.
Yeah. It's a very polarizing thing. Not just by, like, there really isn't that much to do in Final Fantasy 1. There's bits and pieces that help your experience along, but, like, I played very little of it, and it's just like, there's not equipment like that. You know, I mean, you're thinking back, the game was released in what, 79 in Japan, 81 in the US, I think it was, and whoa, yeah, you have Dragon Quest. Think of the limitations of the games back then. NES was a big deal.
Yeah.
Like that was the pinnacle of design, like the design space of what you can make. Okay. What was before that? You got Atari, you got other things, you got Commodore.
Yeah.
The limitation on this is great. Like it's one of the ones that's going to have the biggest limitation to any other game that we're talking about in this podcast, on the future episodes that we have planned.
Yeah.
Because of that, just the time frame of when it was released. Nothing else comes close.
Yeah.
Like this is why we wanted to start here, is because it is the beginning. Like you could say Dragon Quest is, but I feel like this took what Dragon Quest was, took the heart of it, and expanded it out.
Yeah.
While adding its own key pieces. And I mean, you look at the numbers, it's what saved a company and made, millions and millions and millions of dollars more later down the line.
Yeah, to the point where we have over hundreds. We probably have over 100 Final Fantasy games, combining spin-offs. Of course.
Yeah, we have a lot. I mean, it's
Not the final one.
Yeah.
I've never heard that joke before.
Yeah.
So
Jeff Goldblum.
Nice.
I want to say though that despite that awful beginning and just the
Lackluster
struggle
end.
Just that raw floundering for
Yeah.
and
know,
the struggle
an hour.
to understand
The sink or swim
you
mechanic
know,
of
the
it.
items and the magic and everything, and I ended up really enjoying my playthrough. About once I got it, once things picked up, and my characters stopped dying every battle, I was like, oh wow, this is actually really fun. And like I actually like after work, I would be excited to go home and play it.
Yeah.
Because I was really enjoying, taking guys out.
Yeah,
and,
it's great.
And not dying.
Yeah.
So,
Not dying.
so seriously, like the beginning made me hate it so much that when I started winning, I felt really great.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was like, nah, I'm not dying
It just
anymore.
had to beat you to the ground first.
Right.
Well,
I mean,
like, you play
but
Dark Souls.
I play the Souls games, so
Yeah.
that's the kind of
You're
stuff
like-
I like.
Right, where you're like, this is hard. But like, once you understood that it's hard for a reason, to an extent. Because it's like, this is what it is. Like, deal with this monster. It is a monster, there's evil, the world is dying, and there's bad things around. That is a basic element of the plot. And, you understand it, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you get good. And then you start winning. Because, like, that's the basic elements of the story is, okay, there's a phase of, like, cool, we're going to sink or swim right here. Find me a story that does it in terms of, like, a big scale RPG or something like that. Because there's almost always elements of that. And, like, with your Souls games, it's like, cool. I don't know if you don't know what you're doing and you're learning those basics. Like, I'm sure if you were like, hey, Bill, play this. I'd be like, what?
Oh, no. When I first played
I'd be
Demon
out.
Souls, I hated it. I never wanted to play it again. Yeah. And then I went back to it and actually, like, figured it out, and now it's, like, my favorite kind of game.
Yeah. It's a puzzle piece that once it clicks, you're like, oh.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like every time after I played the first time I've ever played it, and I have very little memory of that part of it, but outside the first time I've played it, it's like, cool. Cool. I got this.
Because I remember the first time I played it, I was just like a dumb kid who just got a Game Boy Advance.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of that floundering, but I also had the luxury of GameFAQs.com.
Yeah, they'll do it.
And,
Wonderful
just doing like that little, like,
Not
cute
sponsored.
little guides to the game.
Not a sponsor, bro.
And as a kid, I ended up I got to Chaos, I remember, and
Wow.
I beat him, and now that I'm, like, looking back at me, I'm like, how the hell did I do that? Like, I was like, no wonder that I played that game for 100 hours, like...
Yeah. They'll do it.
It's children of perseverance, man.
Yeah, honestly.
Or they just
We went
blunder
through-
until it works.
We went through a lot of crappy games, I'll tell you.
Yeah, so moving on. We talked a little bit about technical story, even a little bit of the legacy here and there.
Yeah.
I know there's a couple other things we wanted to talk about. Tyler?
Oh, I wanted to bring up, I played it on the mobile platform, as I said earlier.
Yeah.
And I told you guys about this earlier, but there's like a little glitch in it that was really fun to exploit, where if you got into a fight and, it just wasn't going well, or like, I used this for when Cockatrice has petrified my characters, and I didn't want to use like a gold needle. If you just exit out of the app and go back into it, the Final Fantasy 1 mobile port has a continue option that just puts you wherever you were last. And just
Not
exits
even in
you.
the battle.
Yeah, it...
Oh,
So weak.
Yeah, you just exit the battle. It doesn't work on bosses.
Yeah.
But I rarely used it. I promise.
okay.
I promise I rarely used it. But whenever...
Sure.
Well, like, I'm just like, I don't want to spend money on gold needles.
Yeah.
I run into Cockatrices like 4 times in this entire game.
You're not wrong, but
Yeah.
at the same time, fuck you. Hey, fuck you. Hey.
But I didn't use... It's just funny because it's a bit of an oversight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's what happens with mobile ports. I mean,
Yeah.
very few of them are actually, like, moderately playable.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen how some of them have been butchered,
Yeah.
especially Squeenix.
Yeah. And I know you guys didn't do the post-game stuff.
No, I didn't touch it. I know, Tyler, you said you played it in the past.
Yeah.
For me, yeah, I didn't touch it. It was this adds nothing to me
Uh-huh.
because it's like, cool, I can grind for hours and hours and hours,
Mhm.
do this stupid dungeon over and over again.
Yeah.
It's also randomized
Yeah.
for 40 floors, and it's like, cool, what do I get out of that?
The
Do it
best weapon
3
in
more
the game.
times.
Yeah,
After
do it 3 more
killing the
times.
best enemy in the game. Like,
Yeah, that's fine, but it doesn't add anything to my, like, because for me, I'm all about the story. Like,
Yeah.
secret bosses are cool, other things are fine. I like grinding to a certain extent, but if it doesn't actually contribute to my experience or my story, I don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bragging rights.
I don't care.
but the one thing
Like,
I do,
go ahead, brag. What's that get me? Nothing.
Man, if you walked into like a game store and be like, "Yo, I beat the extra
Dude, man.
dungeon in Final Fantasy 1."
They have to give you a discount.
Right.
Look,
Like no one's ever done that before.
Oh
if
my
I
God.
got a discount, actually I try not to go to GameStop. But if I got a discount for something, we could talk about it. But
Yeah, but I
Not
played when I actually went through like all the end game content. I was still playing it on phone.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of it, something that like plagues me. And it's only a problem on the phone platform.
Mhm.
Is that one of them is it's like a constantly appearing and reappearing like floor panels, and if you fall off, you just restart.
No.
But when you're on a phone controller,
Wolf.
No.
you always get that like extra like whoops, there's an extra left, and then
Yeah.
it
Oh
was
my
the
gosh.
most frustrating experience I've ever had playing a Final Fantasy game, and that's one of the dungeons that you have to do. I think that's the dungeon you have to do 3 times.
No, thank you.
Just getting to that floor every
Oh.
time and just like wanting to die inside.
That's me all the time.
Yeah. But and then
Dun, 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 dun.
wow, the other issue, I don't want to call it an issue, but something that was kind of annoying about the phone port is
Mhm.
when you're grinding on like PSP, you could even just like mash A to just swing
Yeah,
through.
you can hold
attacks.
A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You don't
Do
get
that.
that.
You
You
can,
want-
what? You
Yeah.
can do that in the original.
Yeah, you don't get.
I
that
mean,
in
you
the
don't
phone
want
game
to in the original.
because
though.
you have to tap every enemy you attack.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh, that's
Yeah,
annoying.
tap.
so it's like up and it's like you tap and then bleep
Oh.
and then you have to wait a second and then it goes to the next
That's
character.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because because with the original version of the game, you can hold through, but like if you attack right,
Yeah.
and your you say your monk kills the enemy in one shot,
Yeah.
all of your other attacks are still attacking that guy,
Oh.
and he's gone. So just a miss.
Yeah, it's
So if you
Wait,
don't,
that was your guys' version?
no, that's
The
that's
original.
the original
Oh, the
version.
original. Yeah, yeah.
I
The
learned
version I
that.
played.
Yeah.
pretty early on, unfortunately.
Whereas the PSP one, I just hold A and they just do their thing,
Yeah.
and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I have zero complaints about that.
Man.
Yeah. Mobile also has that, which made grinding just easier because I was
Yeah.
just sitting there with like one hand on my
Well,
phone.
the
just
mobile one
constantly
is a port
tapping.
of like the GBA one, isn't it?
It's a weird mix of the GB, or it's a.
It's like a
I think
middle.
it's the
It's the
PSP
mid tier. Because I think it's like
Yeah.
the PSP one before the PSP one was a thing.
Yeah.
So it's like
exactly.
an upgraded version of the Game Boy Advance, and the Game Boy Advance one was already upgraded
Yeah.
significantly from
Yeah.
original.
Yeah. Because the one on mobile. It
And then I think the
removes-
PSP was ported over and
Yeah.
flourished.
The phone version removes the sprites. Because the sprites were in the Game Boy Advance.
The
and then
sprites.
the general sprites for the characters.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
there's like
Oh.
there was the hop between the Game Boy Advance version
Yeah.
and the PSP version, where
Yep.
they like smoothed out everything, gave it new art.
Yep. And then like the big guys had like really big sprites.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, that's cool.
with the yeah, they're really neat.
So they were kind of small, and I was like, "That's
Yeah.
the boss."
No, the
Yeah.
Tiamat
Oh,
it takes
okay.
up like the entire like battle area.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
60% of the screen.
Oh yeah,
I'll look
it's
that up.
real clean. Yeah, it's real cool.
You know, it wasn't until like Chaos at the end for me when it took up the whole screen. Every other
Mm.
boss was like just a quarter of the screen,
Mhm.
so that'd be cool to look at.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't. And the thing is, I've always played ones where they were larger, so it's weird to think that they wouldn't be. Like, I
Right.
can just imagine just like a small lich in like the bottom or top left corner.
Yeah,
Right.
when I fought Garland, he was so tiny. I was like, "You're the
Aw.
boss. You're the bad guy.
Yeah.
You're the big guy who started it all.
You're like a small.
You're the
tween."
legendary Garland who
Mm.
stole the princess?
Mm, the princess. Yeah, see?
Oh, yeah, Bill showed me a picture. Holy cow, that looks so good.
Isn't that sweet?
That is not the version I
Oh, yeah.
saw.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I got to play.
My guy looked like a pile of snakes.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Look, remember, I've played this. I know.
Yeah.
I've suffered. Trust me. Yeah, just the legacy of the game itself is powerful.
Hmm.
The story itself can leave a little bit to be desired. Granted, we are in 2020. Shit.
Yeah. It's dated,
But
really.
that long ago?
Yeah.
I mean, stories in games weren't that big or
No.
important
Yeah.
in video games back then.
Yeah, it was something to pass the time. It was kind of a hobby. It was like, cool, here's this game you can play on a table,
Yeah.
but electronic.
Mhm.
Then this is like, hey, story. You're like, what?
Yeah. What? I don't have to make this up. I don't have to pretend it's there. I just get it.
What?
Mm.
What?
Yeah, legacy story. The gameplay, like, for its time was great. And
Oh, I love it. I
Yeah.
love turn-based.
Yeah.
I'm one of those weird people who's like, give me that turn-based
Yeah.
RPG.
I mean, you'll like it because of the versions you played, but
No,
Holy cow.
I like the old version of it.
Uh-huh.
It's
You
what
like
I played more.
spending one battle and having it take 10 minutes to
I'm
finish?
fine with that because
No.
to a certain extent.
No.
Granted, I like the tacticalness of it. Like as a platform, sure. Execution is another story.
Because there's no tactics, man. You push, you have everybody
'Cause
attack guys.
if you
it
hit
takes
A, just
20,
yeah.
30 seconds for the turn to go by.
Oh, it's a
because-
lot. It's so slow. In the old one,
Man,
for sure.
and then even doing like a magic that attacks all the enemies, each person takes hit,
yeah.
and it has to show
Oh, yeah,
the
you have
animation.
experiences.
It's got to pull up the dialogue.
Yeah. So
It's got to say how much.
So you have your grid of 9 guys.
Yeah.
And your guys are over here.
Yeah.
Say you cast
Fire 2.
Fire 2. So does the animation go tick, 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 tick,
Oh.
One guy
and then it
gets
goes
hit.
tick, tick.
No,
Oh,
one guy gets
yeah.
hit. Dialogue box comes up. Says how much damage he took.
Yeah.
Goes away. Boom. The next guy.
Tick, 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 tick.
Dialogue box comes up.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Goes away.
So imagine you doing
Oh my gosh.
your Diaga, right? And
Yeah.
destroying a horde of enemies.
Yeah.
Zombies.
Oh no.
But
yeah.
each zombie you have that tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
And then they have to attack you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
They
happens
don't
the
have
exact
animation.
same kind of way.
So they literally like blink.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so
Tick, 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 tick.
it's it was bare bones animation.
Oh, yeah.
And it took forever to do battles.
So this is us saying if you're gonna play it, play one of the newer editions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Entirely just for convenience. Just
Oh.
so it's not taking.
110%.
Yeah.
If you want an old school experience, that's fine.
Yeah.
But just know what you're getting into because
Yeah.
it's gonna take a while.
Yeah. Because they usually say like the PSP version is like the ultimate version of it.
Absolutely. From playing that, having played a little bit of the GBA version,
Mhm.
I played it. I started it a couple times, never finished through.
Yeah.
Yeah, the PSP one is by far just the cleanest, most
Yeah.
absolute version of it. Yeah, I would say that's the one experience having played like all of them.
Yeah. It's. Yeah. It just. The thing is, the game is still dated. The game is still like 30 years old.
Yeah, no, more than that.
Yeah.
Because we had the 35th anniversary a while back, didn't we?
Really?
Didn't we?
Yeah.
35th.
Because it was 79 for Japan. So
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. It's just dated. So modern kind of platform, either Game Boy Advance or PSP, really is just kind of the way to go.
it's fine. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. So for a game being like 40, 41 years old,
Mhm.
I still love it. Granted, very, very flawed in the original iteration.
Yeah.
But I can't complain. But I'm a weird person, and I like it sometimes being archaic because it's what it is, in this intended way. But at the same time, it's so much better
Yeah.
with the upgrades. It's so much better. I would love for you to experience that at some point, Jack. But yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna do personal ratings of it. We'll probably do a couple minutes of wrap up.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, if I was rating it on a scale of 1 to 5, it probably depends on when you are grading this. So like when it first came out, yeah, it's a 5.
Yeah.
Now, all right, am I in the mood? Do I want to deal with it?
Yeah.
Those are all factors. I'd probably put it somewhere in the middle because it's like, do I want to play it right now? If I don't, I definitely don't want to deal with it most of the time.
Yeah.
But I still love seeing it. Like it's a game I watch somebody play or things like
Yeah.
that almost any time,
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah,
what about you, Ty?
I really agree with you. Just like on the scale of like 1 to 5, I'd give like a 3, because at the time, once again, it was revolutionary. As you said, like 5 out of 5 when it came out, and it's still good to go back to games like this to just have a reminder of like this is what it used to be like.
Absolutely, it makes you appreciate
Yeah.
things more.
And it does give you this nostalgic feeling, but the game is very dated, and like I only recommend it if you have like a GameFAQs walkthrough, like right there.
Oh, yeah.
Like it
Yeah,
helps so much.
absolutely.
Or just know it. Like
Yeah.
for me, I was able to go through most of the game just kind of remembering things.
Yeah.
Which is super cool to be able to do with something
Yeah.
like what it is.
Yeah.
But there was once or twice where I'm like, what? Wait, what was this?
Yeah.
you know?
See, I was bad because I beat the game 3 times already, and I still had like no idea where anything was.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh,
I mean-
Alfenheim. I'm like, okay. I'll
Jack,
try.
I bet you'll remember it because you've played the original one now.
Yeah.
Like it kind of burns in your brain as much because you're like, cool, I'm here, and I have to get to here. This sucks.
Yeah.
Versus like, all
Oh
right,
my gosh, yeah.
it's just kind of like getting around and everything was just made easier.
Mm.
So that's kind of how I feel about it. Is going back to that is a lot harder with
Yeah.
it.
It's just dry.
Yeah. Nowadays, at least, yeah.
Yeah. And that has something to do with its age. But yeah, 3 out of 5. If you really like old RPGs, it's great.
Oh yeah, would recommend as long as you know how to get past Crystal. Because
I'd give it a 4 out of 5 if it permanently had a game facts kind of.
Yeah.
But
well, that's the thoughts of that.
Yeah.
4 to 5 is Tyler. 3 out of 5 for me. Actually, I'll go with 4 out of 5 for Game Facts. Yeah,
for game facts.
Go to Game Facts. Play the game.
Those wonderful people at Game Facts.
Yeah. They put lots and lots of work into those really in-depth walkthroughs. I think I used one called like retro walkthroughs or something when I used mine. Like
I use that for maps.
Yeah. Oh. The like twice I looked up a map. I'm like,
Maps
this is
great.
gold.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think this is a game you have to go in with the ambition to actually power through it.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's not one of those. It's not for like, I don't want to say like casuals, but like you can't just go and be like, oh, I'll try some Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah.
Because you won't enjoy it. You'll have a bad time. You'll get discouraged. I
think you just die. Like that's the end of the day. You're gonna die.
You'll be like, I have other games to play.
Right. I can move on. I'm gonna go play God of War.
I can go play.
Do you see this?
God
Do you see
of
this?
War,
Do you see how beautiful
2018.
this is?
No,
No.
but like
Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Yeah, Final Fantasy is coming.
We
in
won't
March.
talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Hype for that.
Wait for that March podcast. But I think that this game, if you go in with that mindset, it is a solid 4 out of 5. It is a great experience to go in and take in the foundation of
RPGs. I mean,
in general. It's like
yeah, exactly. In general, because what it does for future games, like you see it in almost every RPG nowadays, little elements that have brought through from that original like system.
right.
And that says something.
Yeah.
That is the legacy of this. Is it created a foundation for everything to a certain extent. Maybe tropes, maybe mechanics, maybe other things.
Mm-hmm.
There's clear lines for decades of what this game has done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it was just, I'd say it's well worth playing. Absolutely.
So
Play it at least once.
Get it out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Just so you can finally say, ooh, I beat Final Fantasy 1.
Right.
I'm glad you switched went from Bill, this is terrible, to 4 or 5. Let's go.
Yeah,
All right. That's a big jump. But yeah, I mean that's what it is. It's just knowing. But yeah, I think that's just about it. Wrapping up for this episode.
Yeah.
Next time we're gonna tackle the craziness that is Chrono Cross. I haven't played it. I'm super excited. I've
Did you
played
play it, Tyler? I haven't played it.
I haven't played
No.
Chrono Trigger in so long.
Yeah.
I don't remember most of the game. So if there's like, because I know there's connections,
Barely.
but like,
Bare bones connection.
cool. That makes
it's
me
kinda
feel a
like
little bit better
Final
about it.
Fantasy connection,
It's
where
more-
it's like they reference one thing, or
Yeah, it's more spiritual successor than actual
Okay.
sequel.
Well,
Even though they said it was a sequel, it's
I thought it was the
not.
same franchise, and it's not really a spiritual successor because spiritual successor is like picking up something from forever.
It's
I'm like, it's the same kind of thing, but it's different. Like saying, what was it? I Am Setsuna is a spiritual successor to Chrono Cross.
Yeah.
Because it's not from the same company, it's a different franchise.
Mhm.
That'd be the spiritual successor.
from what I've seen comparisons is that like it's as connected.
Have none of us
as-
played it?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no
Oh.
one's played it, so that's
Ah.
really interesting.
I'm
But
excited.
I've heard it compared to like it's as connected as Xenogears to Xenosaga. Like
Cool.
there's
Sep-
references
sep-
in that
separate but
That makes a
similar.
lot of sense.
but
Yeah.
it's not connected. It's not
Any
the
of the
same
Tales
world.
games. It's
Any
here's
of the
this,
Tales game.
here's a similar element,
Right.
but it's not the same. Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. I'm excited because I get to tackle. Like I think it's one of like the 2 or 3 things on this list. I'm like I have zero knowledge really into.
Yeah.
Same.
Because there's only a few of those. Like
Yeah.
I've played just about everything on here except for, like 3 of those.
Yeah.
Outside of stuff that's not out yet.
Yeah,
But
it's a game that I'm going in completely blind. I'm excited for it.
me too. I started the first couple minutes of it. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
this is cool.
Because I played Chrono Trigger for like about half of it when it came out on Game Boy Advance, of course. But I
Not the
remember I
DS
just got
one?
stuck and put it down. Huh?
But the DS one.
Was it? Not the DS one. but
no,
anyway.
it didn't come out Game Boy. It was
Yeah, I was gonna say.
PlayStation
Oh,
and DS.
Okay, so yeah, then my DS.
Okay,
copy.
maybe.
Just because it's so like sprite based, like
Yeah.
immediately snapped.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But I got like halfway through it and then I just got stuck and put it down. Just never picked it back up. But
Makes sense.
it was. It has like this legacy that I just want to see Like,
it's
why?
a powerful legacy
I want to see
too.
why people like it so much.
Well, Cross and Chrono Trigger are very different in its own right too. Like combat, everything.
Yeah.
So like you're not gonna get the same. You're not gonna get that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get that experience from this because it's its own thing. Combat's completely different.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited to experience it because I keep hearing good things. Just like 42 characters you could have as a party. It's insane.
That's one of the things I heard. It's a weird RPG because most RPGs gives you like 9 at most.
Yeah. Like that's usually the top end.
But this game gives you like roughly around 40, and it's like, here's all these characters, and you can only use 3 of them.
Oh, well.
Well, that'll do it for this episode of JRPG Podcast.
Yep.
That was a lot of extra letters in there.
JRPG.
JRPG Podcast. We welcome you onto our journey, Lightbringers, and we're ready for what brings us into the next couple episodes.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
This was Bill.
Ty.
Jack.
Woo.
Signing off. Hey there, Bill again. Special thanks go out to Ian Harris, who created our logo and design, at Ian Harris 24/7 at Instagram. We also have Baron Von Future, who created our fabulous intro and outro music. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram, and check out his music on the web at baronvonfuture.com. And I'll catch you guys next time, where we tackle Chrono Cross on the JRPG Book Club podcast. Hey there, Bill again. Special thanks go out to Ian Harris, who created our logo and design, at Ian Harris 24/7 at Instagram. We also have Baron Von Future, who created our fabulous intro and outro music. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram, and check out his music on the web at baronvonfuture.com. And I'll catch you guys next time.